didn't reply much as I don't think my brain registered on what he said. But looking back on it, something was festering in my house. Later that night, I was at the grocery store with my mom and brother. By that point, I was beyond checked out. I was mindlessly holding onto the shopping cart while following my mom around the fluorescent aisles of the store. I felt awful, exhausted, and weak. Couldn't think properly, and I felt like someone was shoving a sharp tool through my forehead and into my brain on a loop. After we left the store, my mom offered to get us dinner at a local burger joint a few minutes away. My brother and I weren't hungry, so only my mom ordered. And while waiting in the drive-thru line, I mentioned to her that my brother and I had both been having a bad week. She peels her eyes from the menu to look at me dead in my eyes. What do you mean? I tell her how I've been feeling for the past few days, and my brother jumps in to share how he's feeling. That's when I was taken aback. He described something different than I did. He said that for the past few nights, something kept appearing in his dreams. He said he wasn't sure if it was evil, but he knew it wasn't pleasant. He said that all week, every time he'd close his eyes, he'd feel that presence almost tormenting him. I got an uneasy feeling in my stomach as my mom replied, "I'm sorry, that's my fault. I think I opened a window, and I've been trying to close it." The ride home after the restaurant was quiet. Neither one of us asked my mom for details. Unfortunately, this has happened many times before. I said in the beginning that my mom has an interest in angels and demons, and she's often taken giant research sessions into a topic that never ends up with a good result. Something my brother and I have learned with all of this is not to ask questions. We pulled into our driveway, and between the three of us, collected all the groceries and food and headed inside the house. I unlocked the door and went in first. I stumbled through the dark hallway before setting the groceries down on the kitchen table and turning on the kitchen lights. Something felt and looked wrong. The air inside my house felt unbelievably dark, practically oppressive. Standing in my kitchen felt wrong, like I was violating some unspoken rule. My mom and brother hurried in after me, and they immediately went quiet and stared into the living room. I turned around to see a dense, gray cloud on the ceiling of my house. Everywhere I looked, I saw this thick haze.